What's going on, y'all? Back again, another day. Here we are. Today, what I want to talk about is hitting rock bottom. But before we get into that, make sure that you drop a like, make sure that you leave a comment, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you share so we can get this message across the air and spread this good word. You heard? All right, y'all. So what we're talking about today, of course, is rock bottom. Um, ground zero. I believe some people call it being zeroed out when you lose everything and you have nothing, and then you kind of have to figure out what's next. Um, for me, I've hit rock bottom quite a few times. It's never fun. A lot of people try to glorify it and make it seem like it's just this amazing thing, and in a way it is, because it forces you to find out who you are. It forces you to find out who your friends are. It forces you to find out who's really for you and who's for what you can do for them. So in a way it kind of is a blessing, but at the same time it still hurts. I want to talk about a couple of my experiences. If you're a regular follower, you've heard numerous times I ended up getting evicted at one point in time. But prior to that, I was living in my spot with no electricity for months at a time. So what I would have to do is, when I had Coy, I had to pack him up, pick him up from daycare, and then we'd go stay at my grandmother's house. Not my grandmother's house, his grandmother's house. I'm tripping. My mom's house. So during the week or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, I would stay at the crib, no lights on, just go to sleep, wake up, do what I need to do, take cold ass showers because the water still worked, but the electricity did. So, I had to take cold ass showers, and looking back, that was crazy. But, just taking cold showers, um, go to sleep. It was the summer at the time, so, luckily it wasn't freezing cold or nothing like that, but it was hot. So, doing that, and then eventually I did end up getting evicted because I couldn't afford to catch up on the payments and whatnot. Um, Ended up losing a whip. I had to pick up a part-time job at Food Lion and walk to work because I didn't have a whip. My car ended up getting repossessed, and the car I had before that, I ended up blowing the motor on it. I bought it. Well, the motor was bad when I bought it. I got it on Facebook or something like that. And, I was leaving one job site in Georgia, headed back to go to class. This was when I was still in school. I'm kind of jumping time. Um, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, the motor blew. And that's the only seat that I got in grad school because I missed too many days trying to have meetings and whatnot, and told me if I was late again, he'd have to drop me a letter grade. And yeah, I ended up with a C. So there was that. Um, Man, countless times just figuring out whose couch I'm gonna sleep on, who would give me a room, who would give me a bed. You know what I'm saying? Until I could kind of get my bearings and start over. Um, but the thing about that is those moments when you're going through a situation or a circumstance, you know what I'm saying? Don't take it personally. Don't let it judge you as a person. Don't let it define you. And, that's something that if you're building or you're chasing goals and dreams, it's something that, we all wrestle and grapple with, because if you're a visionary or if you're a builder or if you're chasing something, you expect things to fall in line a certain way. And when they don't, the self doubt starts to creep in. You start to wonder, like, am I really built for this? Am I doing something wrong? And then social media doesn't help. You look and you see all your friends, they're growing, and you know what I'm saying? They're having fun and whatnot. But it's like you can't just seem to break ahead because you're so hell bent on chasing this one thing. You know what I'm saying? But to all of you people that know what that feels like, let me encourage you to keep going. If you're like me at this point, you're too far in to turn back. Like at this point, I don't really know any other way but to build and create and pursue my goals and dreams. And, if you feel the same way, you're going to have your struggles, you're going to have your burdens, you're going to have your losses. Your losses are going to hurt, but it's just a part of playing the game. You also have a lot of wins, you also have a lot of victories, you have a lot of ups, you have a lot of high moments. So, you can't play the game if you don't expect to lose. You know, if you, something I was thinking about the other day, if you want to be a top tier home run hitter, then you got to expect to strike out a lot, because you're putting all your power into the swing, and you got to be ready for, that ball that's going to catch you. And when it catches you, you just got to eat that because you gave it your all. You went for the gusto, and it didn't connect. And it happens. It's a part of the business. It's a part of the game. Everybody's going to go through it. If you a ladies man and you used to talking to having your way with women and talking to as many as you want, there's gonna come a period in time where it's not working. Like the women just aren't gonna want to hear what you have to say. If you're whatever, there's gonna come a time. That's just the way that the world is set up. Like there's gonna come a time where you don't get things as easily as you could have before. Things don't happen, and that's really when the tests start. You know what I'm saying? There's so many times where you see a drug dealer that was big and bad and they were the kingpin, but when things got wrong, then all of a sudden they started snitching on people to get their time done. And there's nothing wrong with telling on a crime if somebody wronged you or you wasn't involved in something. That's not snitching. Snitching is when you participate in illegal behavior and then you get caught and you telling everybody else that was participating in the illegal behavior. Like there's a difference. There is a code. There are morals and rules. And I'm not a street guy at all. I've never been. I've never proclaimed to be or nothing like that. But, certain rules, they transcend other things. Like if you are doing things that you wasn't supposed to be doing and you get caught, like you gotta eat that because you got caught. You know what I'm saying? You don't incriminate other people. You take your time and you do what you do because you contributed, you played your role. You live by your role, you die by your role. Now we're at a point where, people don't really have any rules. They don't really have any parameters. They don't have anything to keep them in balance. And so you're liable to see anything happen. You got a lot of people doing things that they shouldn't be doing because they're not built for it. And then when things hit the fan, then, they want to cop please, but, you know, everything was good when things were up. I got friends that, we started businesses together and things didn't work out. I'm not going to be mad at them. I'm not going to look at them funny. We made this decision together. Like, we both entered this agreement knowing that this was going to happen. If both of us played the game fair, we did everything that we were supposed to do, and it wasn't nothing that we could have done differently. I'm not going to look at him funny and blame him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say you ruined my life or you got me falling short. No, that's not how it works. We both knew the risk when we got involved. We both knew what was going on, and we both lost. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And like I said, when things get shaky and rocky, that's really when your character and your mindset and what you believe in really comes to the test. When you're down, you find out who's really around. You find out the people that's really in your corner. You find out the people that wasn't. They just were really into what you could do for them and not, you personally. You're going to experience a lot of that, you know. But these are the moments in time where you prove yourself. This is where you show the world who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in. Think about any legendary sports game. You don't remember the ones where it was a blowout. You remember the ones that it was really close, or you remember the blowouts and the underdog ended up coming back and winning. I hate to bring it up, but as a Falcons fan, I have so much respect for Tom Brady because I just knew we were about to win that Super Bowl, and then lo and behold, they came back and blew us out the water. You know what I'm saying? That was a defining moment of greatness. It doesn't matter how many Super Bowl rings Tom Brady had before that. That was a moment where, he literally put the team on his back and carried them into victory. You know what I'm saying? The defense, same thing. The Patriots team collectively as a whole, They took themselves, they carried themselves, they didn't get defeated, they came back out, they turned around, and they ended up making history. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, when he was down 3-1 to Golden State, you know what I'm saying? He came back and he changed the course of history. He turned that team around and he ended up doing something that was never done before. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that make you legendary. Those are things where somebody lesser would, you know what I'm saying, fold or would doggone go ahead on and go back to the gym and hang it up, go to the locker room and not come out. And those are the people that'll never get remembered. You know, it's those moments where you at rock bottom and everything's against you, where you gotta stand up and you gotta perform because nobody's in your corner. Nobody's rooting for you. Nobody's cheering for you. You got to be your own cheerleader. You got to motivate yourself. You got to push yourself. You got to keep going and not look for anybody else to help you. If you get it, you appreciate it, but you don't expect it. You expect to do everything by yourself, and, you earn it. If you do get help, you appreciate it. You be grateful for it, but understand that, you got to dig yourself out, and there's moments where times get rough, times get hard, and, you just got to push through. Because it's easy to be the guy that's winning when things are up. You know what I'm saying? You can be Draymond Green when you got Klay Thompson and you got Steph Curry. You can talk and Kevin Durant. You can talk trash all day. You can be, just amazing. But let them get hurt. Are you still Draymond Green? You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk about how great you are when you've never been tested. You never had to prove yourself. You never had to overcome any obstacles. You never suffered defeat. You never took any losses. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people right now are playing with the stock market and they're doing great. I'm not hating on nobody, but what happens when you have a major loss? What are you going to do then? Are you going to, go back and recoup? Are you going to lead a game? Forex. There's a lot of people doing Forex right now. And, the Forex market is pretty good. It's pretty consistent for them. They're doing great. What happens when that major crash comes? Are you prepared for it? What happens when you lose? You know what I'm saying? That's when you really define people, how they handle a loss. You know what I'm saying? How do you overcome that? What do you do? I give you a prime example. I don't like to just talk about my victories and my wins and all of the good stuff that happens. I don't never want to be one of those talking heads that only tell you about the victories and never share the losses. So let me tell y'all, man. One time, I was talking to this girl. I really liked her a lot. We were vibing, everything was cool, we were kicking it, and then, it kind of tapered off as time went on, and so, we ended up reconnecting and, trying to spark it back off. Where it's like that weird phase where it's like, we kind of on and off, but we're not really there. It's like, just reconnecting and rebuilding. So I ended up going popping up on it. We were talking. It was like, you keep playing, I'm gonna come see you, whoop de whoop, whoop de whoop. And she'd be like, oh yeah, whatever, you ain't gonna come. So I ended up popping up. You know what I'm saying? And naturally, she was not expecting me. And she got upset, and in turn, that caused me to get upset. And in that moment, I could have been great. I could have just been like, you know what? I was wrong. I caught the wrong signals. I was thinking one thing. Clearly, it was something else. I was flirting. I thought the vibes were there. They were off. Handled it real casual, cool, just responsible. You know what I'm saying? Like an adult. Instead, I just sent a long text message about how we don't need to talk no more, and I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it off, and just instead of me expressing like, I read that wrong, I was reading into it a little too much. I went off the deep end and blew it up, and more than anything, that was a moment for me to pass a test, and I didn't pass a test. I failed greatly. I dropped the ball, and that woman, we haven't spoken. Well, we spoke since, but it wasn't. It'll never be the same because she lost respect for me. Because in that moment, it was an opportunity for me to be different, for me to be a stand-up guy, for me to show something that she may have never seen, for me to show that this was a moment where I'm feeling a certain way. I'm down and out, I gotta eat that, it is what it is. And I dropped the ball, I don't blame her. I blame myself for, not rising to that moment and handling it with class and, just poise. So, all my peoples, I tell you, when those moments come, and you're always going to be tested. There's always tests, You got to be ready to pass that test, and you pass that test by staying cool, staying calm, going back to the drawing board. Sometimes you just got to walk away and take a break. Just be like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this right now. And just go walk through the park or something, man. And then clear your mind and then go back with a fresh brain and a fresh mindset. Studies show when you take time and you think about something real hard and then you go do something random and come back to it, ideas will pop up to you. A lot of people have had amazing ideas when they were sleeping after studying all night or when they're in the shower randomly because that's how the subconscious mind works. You know what I'm saying? You work it to capacity and then you walk away. Then while you walking away, it's working in the back of your brain. But yeah, the biggest thing is when you down and out, when you losing, when you fall short, or when you put yourself in an uncomfortable comfortable position. Always remember at the end of the day, you're a man, or you're a woman, or you have value. You contribute something to this society. Your existence will never ever be here again. There was none before you. There will be none after you. You have a unique set of DNA that puts you here to fulfill a specific task. And it's up to you to find out what that task is. And it's up to you to understand that while you're pursuing that task, it's not going to be easy at all. You're going to have to go through it. You may lose it all, and you may have to start over. Um, if you look at the Wolf of Wall Street, you'll see Jordan Belfort. And if you look today, he's on social media and everything. He's still, doing what he does. If you look at him, you'll see he bounced back. Like, granted, he's still in a crazy amount of debt. But if you look at him and you look at his mindset, he's still pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? His criminal background hasn't stopped him from persevering and moving forward. You think about Daniel in the lion's den. You know what I'm saying? What more can you think of? He was in there and he had his faith in what he believed in. And what happened? What happened? You know what I'm saying? David and Goliath. The odds were against him. He was expected to lose. Nobody thought that was going to happen. But what happened? You know what I'm saying? So life is filled with people that overcame amazing obstacles and reached their greatness because they didn't give up. They didn't quit. They believed in themselves. They believed in a higher power, a higher calling. You know what I'm saying? And that's what got them through those tough times. You know, and that's why it's so important for you to have a purpose, for you to have something that drives you, something that motivates you, something that keeps you going. Because when you have that, you can overcome any obstacles because you understand that it's bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? Curtis might not believe in himself enough to get the job done, but Curtis doesn't have to believe in himself because Curtis isn't doing it for Curtis. I'm doing it for, the people that I care about. I'm doing it for the people that are coming behind me. I'm doing it so, my son doesn't have to do it. And then, if that's your motivation, nothing can stop you because it's bigger than you. You might not feel like getting out of bed in the morning, but if you know that if you don't get out your bed, somebody doesn't eat, or somebody doesn't have clothes, or somebody doesn't have shoes, or they have to be forced to live a lifestyle that, is less than what they deserve. I bet you get out of bed and you make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality that you gotta have when you down and out, when you lost everything. When people are telling you that you're crazy, when people are, not encouraging you, when the world is against you. You know what I'm saying? I might have to do one just specifically on that, just dealing with people that are not in your corner. They want to see you lose. They want to see you fail. They don't believe in what you got going on, but you got to push past that and persevere anyway in order to get that success. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to leave that right there. Getting close to 20 minutes. Make sure that you, like I said, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. We're going to make it do what it do, all right?